following program is intended for mature audiences.
And we are Flesh Wound After Dark, the new spin-off show of Flesh Wound Radio. And Todd, do I keep talking over the porn music? Okay, wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to start saying stuff they're going to need to hear, but that's okay. Yes, Flesh Wound After Dark. We said, well, I shouldn't say it's a new thing. Long-time listeners know we've been doing the After Dark segment towards the end of our shows for, in case you're have delicate ears. Can't be that delicate if you listen to us, but for those that don't want to hear about the more kinky side of cinema, but here it's all kink all the time. For those of you who aren't aware of what we do, Flesh Wound After Dark is going to cover everything from the golden age of erotica to modern day porn parodies, even non-triple X sex comedies, and basically all sorts of stuff that kind of will fall more under this banner rather than just straight horror. But we'll also have, some horror that falls under this as well. So we do welcome you guys to the spin-off show. It's I guess it kind of makes sense, yeah, Todd, that we do the porn show for Christmas. We didn't plan it that way, but I'm sure. Yeah, well, it was sort of unintentional. I mean, we knew we were going to do it soon, and this is how it happened. I think we are going to have. I think our next one will fall on New Year's, possibly. I'm not sure, but yes.
Well,
here anything goes. So if you're easily offended, we're warning you now. How are you doing, Todd? I didn't ask you yet.
I'm doing good. I was going to say, if you need something, there's always the back catalog. Go listen to the Jack Frost commentary, the Santa Slay commentary. Those will give you a little bit of horror fix that aren't time specific.
Absolutely.
Although I still think we need to do a new Santa Slay.
I was going to say, but then
jokes.
We'll have two, and they'll announce the Vestron Blu-ray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we're going to have like three, but you never run out of wrestling references or Goldberg references at this point, so it's possible. It could happen. I'm sorry, Todd, you broke up.
Oh, more references than he has moves.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say you could watch 50 Goldberg matches during the length of that commentary. But, yes. So, Todd, what are you, before we get into things, what are you up to this Christmas? What are some of your Christmas traditions that you're keeping, aside from watching obscene amounts of pornography, of course?
Feature-wise or just in general?
In general. Yeah, what do you do for the holidays?
Well, it varies. Every other year, we go up to Arizona to see my wife's in-laws. That's this year. So she's already up there, and with our baby, and I'm heading up there with our teenager Saturday morning, since he still had school to finish. So that's
like the in-laws, or is this kind of like a miserable weekend? I doubt they're listening to the porn show, so you can shoot. Oh, okay. There you go.
No, yeah, we're good. It's not one of those situations where I dread it. I just dread the drive.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. I know you don't like leaving California, so
that too.
That's a long trip for you. And I swear, Todd did not send me a message saying he fucking hates them or anything. He literally means that. He loves them, so if anybody's listening, he loves them. So, I don't know if we have news per se, Todd, because I really hadn't thought of the news segment, because since this is a little bit different, I don't know if we have any news that fits into this, but did I miss any? Today's been crazy. I've been more last-minute Christmas stuff than I really expected, because I went through my list and found I did have a couple people I didn't buy gifts for. So did I miss anything news-wise? Anybody announce anything cool?
I don't know. I think our news should be more porn-centric.
That is true. That is true. I have to start looking at porn news now and follow it a little bit more. This isn't news, but per se, but I'm going to throw it out there for anybody curious, of course, over the age of 18. If you're ever looking particularly, well, not actually particularly modern or retro, I do recommend eBay does sell a lot of porn. You just have to know how to switch it to, confirming your age, adults only thing, and search under adults only. And I have found you get it a hell of a lot cheaper. I think we mentioned this in the past, but if you're ever looking for something more adult, I've built an entire collection of Caballero Classic releases just through that, and sometimes you can get them for as low as like $2. I'm not exaggerating. Todd knows through my updates that I buy a lot of smut, and
you do.
I'll throw that out there. I do. Insane amounts. Todd, I'm not kidding. I've talked about this on the other show, but I have a section now, and I am totally ready to put in the old school saloon doors, get up the adults-only stuff, and make it my own old school video store porn section. It's going to happen now. I just have to figure out how to hook up the saloon doors, but it is ready, because I've got more than my old Ma and Pop Sunburst video ever had, so that is going to happen. Just
nice.
Just to pay tribute to Flesh Wound After Dark. Maybe I'll paint Flesh Wound After Dark. Your really awesome graphic. Maybe I'll find a way to spray paint that on the doors. That would be pretty badass. Go ahead.
What? Oh no, I was like, I'm done producing, so you don't have to cover for me anymore. just a heads up. I was more.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes, Todd was doing something for the show later. The only other thing, and I'll just mention this briefly because it's technically not really Flesh Wound After Dark, but I did notice on the Ronin site for the Code Red Scorpion releasing Blu-rays that they have up there, it must not have been up very long, but Beyond the Door did pop up. There wasn't even an image, but it was $29.99 and it was gone. I don't know if anybody ordered it and is going to get it, or they had their order canceled.
I have a feeling it was more of a test thing for the coming titles than anything. Because if they were ready to go, they'd be selling them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't quite see any reason why they wouldn't just pop it up and get it rolling. But just wanted to throw that out there that's probably going to be one of the new ones. I know After the Fall of New York is coming, and I'm very excited about that. So
yeah, we both are.
So absolutely. Without further ado, into the show for this evening, and well, we got some double features, so let's kick it off with the Peakorama double feature. 2 movies, Silk, Satin, and Sex, and Turn On with Kelly Nichols. And, I'm going to kick it off with the last one that I watched, Todd and I were actually texting back and forth about this one, and that is Turn On with Kelly Nichols, which is from the back cover, from director Lawrence Talbot, I should say. Both of these films are. It's a 1984 film, and Kelly Nichols hosts this white coder for the 80s, in which I can never say her name, Taja Ray, Sharon Kane, and a host of other beautiful women demonstrate the ancient techniques of sexual fulfillment. Elegantly photographed and hypnotically scored, Turn On with Kelly Nichols is a film that lives up to its title. So, if you're not familiar with Kelly Nichols, many horror fans might remember her as an unfortunate victim in the original Toolbox Murders from 1978, I believe. And she's had an interesting career because she was quite big for a while, but then she went on to do hair and makeup in many porn films, which she was still doing until I think fairly recently. And this one, to be honest, I really consider the bonus feature on this because it's not great. I love Kelly Nichols. You don't really get to see a whole lot from her. She sucks a banana once in a while, and this is the type of movie that that Jehovah's Witnesses show their kids to keep them from fucking. I mean, this thing is just not sexy. But having said that, it is occasionally pretty funny. Just the shit that they kind of run down in this thing. I mean, you actually have a drawing at one point where they're breaking down the mechanics of a dick. There is one scene where a woman uses vaginal juice as an aphrodisiac and actually dabs it on like perfume. That was pretty funny, but if I'm rating this one as a porn, Todd, not that satisfying. There's a lot of dicks and a lot of hairy man ass, but I don't know. It's kind of like it was like a bad episode of Red Shoe Diaries. What did you think on this one, Todd?
Oh, I was not a fan of this one at all. I agree. There was a couple chuckles, but overall it was just very tedious. It was, it was basically an instructional film, and it was not entertaining one. I guess is the best way to put it. They kind of perfected it later with, oh my gosh, her name is, who I'm talking about, Dan, the other actress who did the how-tos.
Sharon Kane.
That was not the one I was thinking of, but Nina Hartley.
Taja Ray.
I was thinking of Nina Hartley, who made the lines of the how-tos.
Oh.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. But,
I thought you were talking about in the movie. I was trying to. Yes, Nina Hartley.
Yes, perfected the how-to.
You said that. I'm like, Nina wasn't in this. Educating Nina was her first feature. But, yes, Nina Hartley did do a lot of how-to videos, which, Todd, let's be honest, you had them all.
Nah, she was never one of my favorites.
Oh, Todd.
I'm sorry.
You didn't learn how to dine at the Y from watching Nina's videos?
I did not.
Come on, I did. I practiced on peaches and oranges and shit. I owe a lot to Nina Hartley. I'm just saying. But yes, no, it's not quite. Oh God, would I love it? Vinegar. I know it's problematic and probably won't happen, but the Poonies, and they could do a big box set of Nina Hartley's how-to things. At least maybe some of the earlier ones, maybe they could get. But yeah, I mean, it's odd because this is one, and I know you had told me you could not find anything on a VHS release. I don't even think it's on Kelly Nichols' IMDb. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think it is because I've never seen this. I'm not saying I've seen everything, but I have seen probably most of it work. Yeah.
I was going to see
more than the normal person. But she was in Toolbox Murders, so she's got the horror connection too. So, I had to see as much of her as I could, and you don't see a whole lot of her in this one. I mean, this is number one. It's an odd one. It feels like maybe they made it during another movie. Well, probably the other one that we're going to review on this set, and I mean the nonstop dick factoids. I mean they just keep popping up about, no pun intended, about just these facts about dicks, and I mean I got harder whacking it to my neighbor's vacation videos. I mean this is just it's just not, and to make things worse. And I was done at this point, but it actually goes into a portion where they talk about period orgasms, and I was just like, it's not the sexiest porn movie I've watched, and even though it is technically a porn, it always doesn't feel like it. Because I mean the strobe lights during the blowjob. I mean, the only
it's like the worst
person that would get anything from this is a teen's first porn.
Mm-hmm. It was like it's like the worst segment in real sex history.
Yeah. Hey, I got real sex will do the trick. Not every segment. There were a few that probably.
You liked one with all the old naked people.
Yeah. Hey, I can make it happen to that easier than this. I mean, I don't know. This was not, in terms of erotic. It just I can't see anybody really loving this, but who knows? I mean, if you want to see honey rubbed on a dude's cock, which needs to happen in This Ain't Candyman XXX, which hasn't been made yet, but that does need to happen. I don't know. It's so dreamlike. It just the score and everything. It just almost put me to sleep. I can't really say a lot of good things about this one, but it is, like I said, occasionally funny. And Todd, I got to ask, do you give sweet muscular vaginal contractions?
Absolutely.
Our listeners want to know.
Well,
grab him by the pussy.
That's my thing.
It's back. I missed you, pervert president. He is back.
There you go.
Rapey president. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just it's something. I mean, this format, I think maybe even by this point just didn't work as well. I mean, I don't need to know about young men masturbating to avoid premature ejaculation. It's just not. I will say, if you can get anything out of it, do a drinking game for every time they mention vaginal juices. You might get pretty drunk. But most of the laughs are really, truly towards the beginning. As it goes on, it's just not. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And Yeah, Todd, anything else to say about this one?
Thankfully, it's a double feature.
Yes, thankfully it is a double feature because I only give this one a 1 because I'm a Kelly Nichols completist, and I think it's very rare. So I think, truthfully, most people are probably seeing it for the first time. But that I should say is just for the movie alone, because we do have another movie on this.
Yeah. Yeah. You're much more generous than me, but I can't even give it that. It's a 0 in my opinion. I got nothing out of it either way.
Todd after this took a vow of celibacy, so it was that bad for him.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
I do have. Mm-hmm.
We have some strange ones in this mix. I might have actually.
Yes, we do. We do. Although some notable strange ones. So yes. I also, this is a sort of on topic, but did you know Kelly Nichols was also in Chud, uncredited? I
did not.
Yeah, she had a listing for Chud, so she's also in there. I don't know if you can spot her or not. I think it was probably just a crowd scene or something, but yes, she is in that.
That's so cool.
She is certainly not a Chud.
No.
Todd's going to try and spot
Definitely
her on
not.
the Arrow Blu-ray.
I'm going to have to watch it again now. We'll watch
Absolutely.
the theatrical cut in full this time. Of course, she'll be in the director's cut.
We need to have Tammy Sunny Sitch in the Chud. This ain't Chud XXX release.
Wow. Are you saying she should play the Chud?
Absolutely. You said it, Todd, not me.
I'm asking you because I was just like, that's just rude.
Yeah. So, on to the next film before this is not a wrestling podcast. The other film on this, and I think, no spoiler, the better film, Silk, Satin, and Sex from 1983, also from director Lawrence Talbot. An all-star cast headline this erotic drama in which a wealthy lingerie company owner, played by Jesse St. James, invites a group of hopeful employees, including Vanessa Del Rio, Tiffany Clark, and Mai Lin, to an exotic party in which the guests must engage in a series of sensual mind games in the hopes of getting the job. So this is definitely the one to grab this one for. I can't imagine too many. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe some of you did like it, but this I think is definitely the main event for this set. And so it's got a very good cast. We've never really talked about Vanessa Del Rio before, but she was certainly a very big name. Still, she's not doing porn anymore, but she's still out there. I've seen recent interviews with her.
Yeah.
And everything. She's a very cool, intelligent lady, much like Nina Hartley. And so this one it's almost, I was watching it, and the opening almost reminded me of a porn version of The Quest with Jean-Claude Van Damme, with like all the invites coming. It was like almost like Van Damme going to an orgy with all the fighters or something. Nobody even understands what I'm talking about, but
and I don't think I'd want to watch that one.
You don't want to see Jean-Claude. Come on, Todd. He gets, in the splits position and can probably bang somebody that way. I'm sure it would be an entertaining porn. You never know. I don't know. The Seagal porn, would that work more for you?
Huh. I don't know. There isn't any BBM porn yet, so he could start that line.
He could. You could have like two chicks, they're both sucking on his titties. He just kind of, the expression on his face never changes. Talks to him in monotone. Oh yeah, fuck me, sort of deal. That would be pretty cool. I don't know which action star. You could pick one to see him do a porn.
You
which
left
one would
out
it
the
be?
best part though. You left out the best part though when he's humping him, they slow the film down.
His body double pops in.
Because in his regular movies they used to speed him up for his kung fu, but since he's old and he probably can't last long, they're slowing him down. So they did that.
Yes, that. We're never going to see it, Todd. Now, that's sad. Oh man, I was going to say his body you can plainly see in a couple of his movies. All of a sudden, he's like thin, and there's this like ninja with the ponytail throwing a kick. Or they could pull an Orgasmo. All of a sudden, he has like a black cock or something. They're using a double. But anyways. Send in the stunt cock. But anyways, Steven Seagal's not in this one. That'd be really cool if he were, but he's not. This one does have a very star-studded cast. Tiffany Clark, if you're not familiar with her, she was once married to Fred Lincoln, who, of course, Todd and I know as Weasel in Last House on the Left. He was married to her back in the day, probably around this time, I would imagine. It's a good mixture of women in this one. I mean, what did you think, Todd? Before I get too deep into it, did this one work for you?
I liked the concept, I guess. This was another one. I don't know. It was just basically, it was just a straight porno. Easy setup to get a bunch of different scenes and stuff thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit disappointed in this one. I was hoping for a little bit more. It was solid for a porno, but you know me, I like a little bit more feature if we're going into the vintage stuff.
Yeah, I liked it. It's not the sexiest porn that I've seen.
Didn't help either.
I mean, Bill Michaels, who kind of looked like Joe Dirt being dubbed in a dirty Godzilla movie. I mean, it just, a lot of times in this era, the dudes sometimes look like they paid like a homeless person on the street, and so not a whole lot for the ladies in this one.
when Ron Jeremy was the sexy one in this era, it tells you something.
Yeah, I was going to say, some of these Ron was looking kind of slim, so,
Yes.
he wasn't yet the...
No, I still remember the first time I saw skinny Ron Jeremy. I was so confused.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter to him. I'm sure at some point he was killing himself exercising and just thought, I'm Ron Jeremy. It doesn't matter what I look like. I mean, that's kind of the appeal of Ron Jeremy. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And he just pulled into McDonald's and never looked back.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, growing up in our day when Ron was still active, he was, the fat hedgehog.
Mm.
Then you see the old stuff and it's shocking.
It is. It's like, oh wow, that's not Super Hornio Brothers era Ron Jeremy. That's a good one too. That needs a proper DVD. I don't think that's on DVD either. A lot of those some of those late '90s ones that just didn't make the switch to DVD quite yet. But yes, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed this one. I like the different cast members. I know not everybody loves Vanessa Del Rio. I've had some discussions about her. She kind of looks more or less the same. She doesn't look dramatically different now. I know some people never thought that she was the sexiest porn star. I probably agree with that, but she was a pretty good performer, I thought. Or are you a Vanessa Del Rio fan?
Yeah, I get the appeal. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not one of the ones that, oh shit, it's when she's in, I got to get it. But I know she has her fans. She was never one of my top ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like her. She's not in my top even my top 10, but I do enjoy her, but I mean this movie also had pretty good production. Mm-hmm. No, she wasn't. I mean, I will say for this movie, there is some good footage. I mean, there's some Central Park stuff, which I thought it's always interesting seeing, some good production values in a porn film. It's not one, and I think Todd and I really appreciate some of the unintentionally funny, un-PC stuff, and this doesn't have a whole lot of that, but I will say, god damn, does Mai Lin look good in this one, though. I've always liked her, but she looked, I don't know, she looked unusually good in this. She just looked really, really good, and she has a scene with Jose Duval, who, I know this was actually his debut. He went on to play Wee Willie Winky in Silence of the Gams, which was the Silence of the Lambs porn parody that came out the same year, and he was in a lot of stuff. He was like kind of the guy that started in porn as an old man already. He's still alive. He's got to be pretty damn old now. But, he got some of Mai Lin, and I have to say I was a little jealous. Not in terms of comedy, just not a whole lot there. It ends with a to be continued, and there wasn't a sequel, so maybe this one didn't sell terribly well.
I was just saying, and Dan's still getting over that.
Yes. Well, we got Corporate Assets, too. Now, that deserved a sequel. But, there were a few things. Like, Veronica Hart shows up and to eat fruit and suck on a banana. But I'm a grown man, and I need more than just banana sucking. I'm just going to say that just doesn't do it for me. The only funny semi-blooper is a scene where a leaf from a tree falls on Mai Lin's asshole. So you can look for that. That was kind of funny. They the other girl kind of just like moved it away real quick, but that was a funny blooper. People are going to buy it to see the leaf now, and maybe Mai Lin's asshole. But yes. I mean, it's not the best Peakorama double feature from Vinegar Syndrome, but I still enjoyed it. I will always support Vinegar Syndrome because I think they're the number one company for me, to be honest. I mean, I just love their stuff, and this one was worth it for me for Silk, Satin, and Sex. But if for some reason we have some new listeners tonight, I know, I would not suggest this is the first Vinegar Syndrome release you run out and get. There are a lot of great ones, and you can listen to some of our reviews in the archives, which, like I said, After Dark is also in our archives just under Flesh Wound Radio. This is the first one we've done separately.
Well, I was going to say we should mention we did do a special.
That is true. Yeah, we did.
We did a couple of months back where we highlighted Sorceress and a few other. I want to say it was some Peakoramas also, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the Red Light.
Wherever you're.
The Norho.
Yeah.
NoHo. So there technically has been one other special, but we're going to do this a lot more regular now. So this is our first official episode. We call that with 0.5.
Yeah, our first official. Absolutely. And you can, whether you're listening on iTunes or Blog Talk or Spreaker or Stitcher, you can always sort of scroll down and see some of the other stuff we did. But yes, I give this one a 2.5. It's an average porno. Mylan, for me, really made it worth it, and you can see a lot more from her in some other Vinegar Syndrome releases, the Tobolina titles, which I actually like Tobolina. Some people don't like him, but I like some of his work, to be honest, and I don't know. So this one's a 2.5, but I'm going to say if you're like me, you're still going to want to pick this one up. So what say you, Todd?
I'm a 2. And also, we didn't mention, when we said this isn't the first Vinegar Syndrome to pick up, that's not a knock on the transfers because they're great as usual.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I should mention that, yeah. Vinegar Syndrome always blows my mind with their transfers. I just don't think they fucked one up, Todd. I can't think of anything I've ever got from Vinegar Syndrome and thought, that doesn't look as good as I thought it would. It usually looks 10 times better than I could have ever have imagined. So yeah, this is no different. So definitely check it out. So we don't normally do this, but I am going to say, because do we have a couple songs tonight, Todd? I know we were rushing to get that together.
We do, but be forewarned, one's 3 minutes, the other's 2. So if you have, I was thinking split them up too, but
yeah, I figured bust one out now.
All right.
Which one is it, Todd?
Well, let's just go with this. Are you going to go run and make a Hot Pocket?
Nah. This is just I got a pee one, so.
So you got 3 minutes. Okay, we'll do the longer one.
Yeah,
all right.
It's long enough.
Well, I guess this will probably tip off what we're going to do when we get back. So we're going to go with Adam Carolla's favorite porn theme.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
I guess I'm evil too.
fucking my own sister. How many guys can say that?
I want to see your cum. Taste it.
And we are back, and hope you had your speakers really loud with the family over for Christmas. And,
That's right. So,
Todd,
Dan,
I think I will. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you ever said that sentence?
I don't have a sister, so
okay.
it's not that weird to say it because I don't have a sister. I can get off on this. You do, okay.
But I forget I do because she's so much younger than me, and it's my half sister,
Oh, okay.
so I forget a lot of times. And then
okay, you didn't invite her over to watch this, then I take it though.
No. Did not.
It might be funny just to put it on and not say anything and just kind of wait for the reaction, but yes, we were talking, and I should also say there is this also has another really good song to it as well, but Taboo 2. Well, it's Taboo 2 and 3. It's another double feature. This one a Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome, and well, I should a little bit of background on this because Taboo 2 really, well, the first one was a pretty monumental adult film. I think if you look at most rankings, I think from whether it's AVN or whatever, you usually see at least the first one, sometimes the second one, will pop up into the mix for some of the greatest adult films of all time. It was certainly different. It spawned a lot of imitators, even to this day, and it was a very important film in its genre, an important series of films. I'm not sure when the last one is.
Mm-hmm. Well, real quick before we get into it, I promised this a couple weeks ago. I was going to tell you my Taboo story about. It was one of the later sequels. It was like 90s one, probably like Taboo 13 or something, 19. I don't know. It was. I want to say it was a vivid one, but it was like really.
Yeah, they made a lot.
It was probably a Paul Thomas one. It was like way too artsy, and I had seen the original Taboos. And one of the girls at the party, I won't say her name because she's on my Facebook. Whatever. And she was like, "All right, yeah." She's like, because our hangout was winding down. There was only a few of us left, and she's like, "Oh yeah, let's put on a porno." So I picked Taboo 19 or whatever the fuck it was, thinking, okay, I hadn't seen it yet. Okay, this will be a good one to fuck with people. And like 20 minutes into it wasn't, first off, and it was way too artsy. She was like, "What the fuck is this? Where's the fucking hardcore shit?" I was like, "Okay, fine. Where's my shoe associates?" I was like, "Damn it."
Which Extreme Associates release did you watch? That's good light entertainment.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Nicole
that's
Bass's
the part that's like
domination bid.
No. Hi, Mary. Stop. My phone beeped.
Oh,
what the hell was that? I said my phone beeped. I'm getting a text.
Oh, that, okay. I thought you were running low on battery. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't have friends that's like, let's watch an incest porn. Well, no, I have a few that would, but I don't I don't think it's something that's going to happen all that often. Maybe when Chris comes down, we'll watch Taboo. That might be a good one to show him, because I don't think he's seen it. He may, I don't know. But yes, Taboo 2. We'll kick it off with this, of course, from director Curtis Stevens. This one's from 1982. Set shortly after the conclusion of Taboo, Taboo 2 introduces Junior McBride, played by Kevin James, not that one, who upon discovering that his best friend... I know. Maybe we'll get a reboot. Who, upon discovering that his best friend Paul had an incestuous relationship with his mother, played once again by Kay Parker, begins to explore his own curiosity for familial love with his sister Sherry, played by Dorothy LeMay. Although initially hesitant, Sherry quickly discovers her incestuous desire for her brother, and the siblings soon begin an illicit affair, until their mother, played by Honey Wilder, catches them in the act. Director Curtis Stevens and writer-producer Helene Terry's acclaimed follow-up to their 1980 blockbuster is an engrossing and erotic psychological drama that features Honey Wilder's most infamous and celebrated performance. So, Todd, I will let you do the honors. What do you think of this one? What do you think of the series in general? I mean, obviously this was, one of those most important franchises in porn. Is this one you were a fan of, that you snuck and got a copy of back in the day before you should have?
Yes, I had seen these quite a few years ago, 20, 30, who knows. It's weird. Yeah, they're just, I don't know. They're watching them now, I'm like, this is kind of fucked up. It's not a good way.
I have that feeling every night.
They're still entertaining and great films. It's the actual concept of what they're doing, if it was legit, it's just kind of really fucked up. And what the fuck is in the water in this town where every related person's banging each other?
It's West Virginia. I'm telling you, they need to reboot it and have it in West Virginia. we can, here's my pitch, and I know I'm going somewhat off topic, but I don't know where they left off, to be honest. But we need like Taboo, the next generation, and everybody's like inbred and do it like a Hills Have Eyes sort of thing. Like Kay Parker's the matriarch, and there's all these like fucked up like two-domed mutants walking around like fucking people. We could do the horror version of Taboo, Todd. It totally makes sense. Flashbacks to the original, and Kay Parker talking about her kinfolk, and it won't happen, but I'm just saying it would make total sense.
See, I think that's the problem with doing it that way.
The birth scene.
I think that's what's expected of this genre. I think having it like the wealthy people in the city is what made it so fucked up. Because everyone's expecting the backwoods fuckers to be doing that shit.
That is true. That is true. Kay Parker's too classy to be stooping her kids, but
she could be Mama Jupe.
She could. She's like 71, I think. She still looks pretty good. I mean, she could still make a return. Even if it's a non-sex role, she could play the head of the family, so to speak. And yeah, I don't know. You could have like Evan Stone. He could be like a really like fucked up looking like grandson. Put some makeup on him and just really prosthetics, and I don't know, make some boils on his cock or something. Really go authentic with it. But yeah, that is my pitch. But to the movie itself, they do kind of conveniently create a brother. kind of something in sitcoms back then they did, or they'd get rid of somebody, they'd go stay back, Family Matters. So you kind of have the brother, and as serious and as Todd said, as fucked up as the premise really is, there is some good comedy in this. There's I mean, it starts off with the brother trying to finger bang his sister in a car, and she just kind of like pushing him off like this is normal behavior. Then they go to Kay Parker's store, and she sees Junior's got a boner, and it doesn't look like a Junior to me. I thought that was a pretty funny line. As fucked up as it is, it still made me laugh more than a few times, Todd. I feel like maybe when you have your fucked up porn party, you could pop on Taboo too and get some laughs.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's our feature on New Year's.
Count down the ball dropping, and yeah, that. Hey, Dick Clark's dead. Maybe that could be the new tradition. But yeah, I like this one. I mean, like I said, as fucked up as it is, I mean, that certainly makes it memorable. And
excuse me.
Yeah, I should throw out Juliet Anderson, who played Gina, later produced and discovered Nina Hartley. So we have a lot to thank her for. She started in porn at 39 and kind of was known for the Aunt Peg series. No, not Nina. Nina would be dead now if she did, but no. Well, Juliet Anderson discovered Nina Hartley.
Okay, well, no, Nina's always seemed like the older one in the film she's in, too. Or she just has an older look.
Really? Nina, and I saw her a few years ago, now I guess 2 or 3 years ago, and she looks fantastic. Like,
Here's my thing.
I know she's got to be...
I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, because she looked old when she was young, now that she's actually older, it's like it caught up and she didn't age. But I've always felt like she looked like the older one in them. And I don't know if it's just something about her look to me or what. Because I agree. She
it's
still
that
looks almost the same as she did 20 years ago.
Sweet talk.
I get him.
Yeah. I love her. She's awesome. And, yeah, Juliet Anderson, I mean, a lot of people remember her for Aunt Peg. Talk about another popular porn series. Yeah, I like this one. Kay Parker, I don't know if you know who she is, but it's almost like the second coming of Kay Parker is Magdalene St. Michaels. I don't know if you know that porn star, but kind of in a lot of the MILF stuff, and ironically has done some similar themes to this. If they ever truly rebooted it, I could see her stepping into that role. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, a lot of it sounds fucked up to actually sit here and talk about it, but some of it was kind of funny watching it. I mean, Junior making a deal that he gets to suck his sister's nipple in exchange for an incest story. I mean, some of it is just messed up, and it's almost like it takes place in a bizarro land. I mean, like Junior's complaining to a girl that his sister won't fuck him. Like, that's just like some normal conversation that you would have with somebody in the Taboo universe. Here it happens.
I'm telling you, it's something in the water there. Because nowhere else.
It is. Absolutely.
It's not normal in any other situation.
Yes, and as the movie goes on, I mean, pretty much they get to every coupling that you can have with everybody, and I liked it. I mean, at one point there's an orgy that Ron Jeremy shows up in, along with also Cara Lott. Not a big role for him, but he is in this one. I remember him talking to Adam Carolla about it on Loveline, and truthfully,
seems like
as fucked up as it is. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the end orgy seemed to be a thing in the first two. It was like the big time for the orgy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That was popular. I mean, of course, still is, but around that time, there were a lot of movies that would close, sometimes on a random orgy, too. That was just something that I saw in a lot of films around that time, and I thought I thought it got a little bit fucked up at the end with the daughter and the dad, and the one point masturbating with the teddy bear.
Yeah.
That was a little messed up. But hey, she gave him the motivation to fuck his wife. Huh?
That's true. So I don't even know if you get away with making these nowadays.
I mean, there's some fucked up porn out there, but yeah, not. I don't see a lot of the higher end companies doing it quite like this. But like I said, it kind of brought them together in the end. So it had a nice,
It's a moral thing.
Hey, like I said, I think if you record yourself like watching this like with your family, I think I'd probably have to send you like a free Blu-ray. Like honestly, if you could like sit down. I mean, maybe that'll be a special giveaway because, Jesus Christ, yeah, this is definitely one I think much like you, Todd, that you watch in your room alone.
Yeah,
not much of an audience. So tough one to rate. Well, not really tough though, to be honest. I mean, and again, I should always throw out when we rate these. When we rate these are, we're rating adult films. That's not like, I'm not saying like this obviously doesn't compare to a horror masterpiece like a Hellraiser or something. So, we consider them within their genre. And, yeah, I mean, it's fucked up. It's crazy. It's an absolute classic, and it gets a 5. And I should say the women look great too. I mean, it works as a porn if you can block out the fucked up aspect, and it looks great too. And we'll talk about the extras, I guess, at the end of the next review. But what say you, Todd?
I'm with you on this one. It's a 5 all the way. I'm a little different when I'm reviewing, especially the vintage stuff. I kind of look at it as, would this still work without the hardcore sex as just an entertaining film? And 100% it does. Yeah,
and back then there were a lot that did, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be a really, fucked up drama. I mean, it would work.
Oh, yeah, this could.
I don't know if it would end with the daughter motivating the dad to fuck his wife, but,
Wait, so I shouldn't expect a Lifetime reboot soon?
What?
I should not expect a Lifetime reboot coming soon?
No, I don't think we're going to see like the Taboo starring I don't know, Richard Grieco or whoever the hell does Lifetime movies.
Come on, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Okay, yeah, she's probably at the point where she's doing Lifetime movies, but yeah.
As long as her husband gets to be in it, because she ruined the client list because she wanted to. So.
Oh wow, yeah. I don't think we get any boobies on Lifetime. They haven't gotten to that point yet. There's you get some nudity on effects. The Shield certainly started to make that possible for us, and certain channels. But I don't think you're going to see too much boobage on Lifetime. So that is Taboo 2. But moving on to the next title on the list, which is Taboo 3. In Curtis Stevens and Helene Terry's third entry into their there we go. It's always got to be random. It's funnier when it's random. In their Taboo franchise, Kay Parker reprises her role of Barbara Scott, whose son Paul has left home due to the stress of their unnatural relationship. With only her younger son, Jerry Butler, who's more concerned with his band and best friend Blake Palmer than his mother to keep her company. Barbara finds a friend in Joyce McBride, Honey Wilder, as the two of them discover their shared incestuous pasts and begin to plan the next stages of their lives. Taboo 3 is a thought-provoking story of forbidden desires featuring some of the biggest names in erotic films. Taboo 3...
I'm back. I don't know if you noticed I dropped out for a minute.
Oh, I did not. I just got through the synopsis, though.
Okay. Okay. You didn't even notice I didn't have to say anything. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if you just started reading it because I disappeared. I accidentally got dropped. Sorry.
Oh, no. All good?
Okay.
No worries. I just got through the synopsis. Yeah, this is the one where there are some plot inconsistencies. It's interesting because I've known some people that like Taboo 3 more than Taboo 2, which I don't quite get. I don't know. This one just... Mm-hmm.
I do. I do get that one, actually, because I really like 3 also, and I don't remember really liking it till I viewed it this time.
Yeah, I mean, there's some line flubbing in this one and some lesser acting, but it definitely gets more 80s, if that makes sense, though. I mean, the music, the 80s music numbers, and some of the banging groupies to some of the songs. I mean, it's definitely a more 80s porn film.
And probably one of the earliest pizza guy scenes.
Yes. No, actually, I think the pizza guy actually predates this one, though. The pizza guy goes way back. That's a porn staple. I cannot say that Taboo 3 is the first to do the pizza guy.
I don't know.
I wish I could name one.
I don't know where it's. I know. I don't know where it started, but I mean, it wasn't the cliche at this point it is now.
Yeah. No, it's something you still see pop up all the time. In fact, there was it wasn't a porn, but I remember there was like a funny thing online of like people answering the door with these pizza guys like buck naked and just kind of filming the reaction. It's something that it's been around a very, very long time. There have been actually Pizza Boy movies that have been made, pulling the whole cliche out there into a feature film. And
Loverboy?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you like about this one more?
I didn't say I like this one more. I said I could understand why people would. I think the fact that it is 80s and this one feels more like, because there are the flubs, the acting's not as part. It's one you can make fun of a little bit more. Whereas it's harder on Taboo 2 because it is so well acted and there's not a lot of inconsistencies and stuff. Whereas this one,
which makes it more fucked up too.
Exactly, which is why I do prefer 2. But because of this, it makes this one a little bit more lighter and a lot easier to laugh at. And, I mean, you have the scene when mom sees her boy banging the chick and gets jealous. That was actually funny in this one. It could have been a little bit darker in the other.
Yeah, this one was
and then
definitely...
And you can see they're having, like, their dynasty moments where her friend's banging her kid and, like, trying to set it up so she bangs her son. It's just a lot of stuff that is trying to be fucked up, but it's just kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the technical rape where Jimmy tricks Barbara into thinking it's Paul at the end.
Oh yeah.
Let's introduce rape into the mix. I mean, why not?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. This is one. When you put it that way, I do get that. Yeah, I can see this one does come off a little more humorous. I mean, it was kind of like if Troma decided to make their version of a Serbian film. It's not going to hit you in the gut quite as hard as the original, but yeah,
I'm gonna see that now. By the way,
yeah. That's one. There's not. I mean, there's not. I can't say there's a bunch of Serbian film knockoffs though. But yeah, Troma does need to get on that. I think my. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Life and Death of a Porno Gang, or in a Porno Gang. It's the only one I can think of that's often been compared.
And I think that was made like at the same time, so I don't even think those movies necessarily crisscross. But you never know. But the funniest thing in this one was the lispy Asian girl who it was. And you got to get. I'm going to request. I hate to request a sound bite from you, but we need to get O'Brien. I just love to suck your quick again. That we need on here because that was the funniest line in the entire movie.
Yeah.
That and Ron Jeremy playing a perv producer who they get to sign the contract while he's getting a blowjob. That was pretty funny too. I mean, you're definitely getting into the beginnings of the series becoming a little bit more of just a porno.
Yeah.
Although I remember liking even some of the ones that come later, but they weren't trying to make a provocative, arty. Although, like you said, later on they do some of those, but. I'm curious to see 4 again because I can't really remember a whole lot specific about it, but Vinegar Syndrome is going to be putting 4 out on Blu-ray, so that's something we will.
January. Coming soon.
Yeah, that one's coming soon. So we'll have another review for that. We'll get a bunch of these together so we can do them all at the same time. We still got to do Headlock. Headlock's one we got to do at some point, but. Yeah, I like this one. Like I said, it's another one that really works. Just lines like "we need some big bazungas," and it's definitely a bit more on the cheesy side, but it's funny. The sex scenes work. Kay Parker looks great, and. It's cool to see the progression. I mean, this is still 83, so, you still had, a couple years of, the golden era of porn. A lot of people say 85 or so is around the end of it, and it's still within that banner. And it's tough one to review. Give a star rating to, but I mean, Taboo 2 is the much better film, but I still give this one a 4. It's still a great film, and of course you get them both, so that's a hell of a value. What say you, Todd?
It's a harder one for me because I did see the humor in it. A 3.5.
Okay, yeah. It's. You get both, and I should also say Taboo 1 also from Vinegar Syndrome, and I kind of like I said though too. This one does though have the some of the plot inconsistencies. I know it sounds so weird when you're talking about a porno, but what can I say? But I definitely enjoyed it a lot. So I guess we can do our other song now, Todd. Which,
why don't we talk
the
about
one
the
I sent you last?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We didn't talk about the... Yeah.
Yes, forgive me. I forgot about that.
Dan's excited
you do
for
get
the
a
song,
video
so...
Yes. You do get a video interview with Blake Palmer, which was cool to see. You get the original theatrical trailer. Movies look fantastic. I know it's a broken record on that, but they look great. Nothing negative to report. You get Kay Parker's personal script for Taboo 3. Now this one's kind of interesting though, because trying to open this with one hand. They do have reverse artwork, but it's not like cover art. So I guess I should throw that out there because
I saw some people complaining about that, and technically it's not reverse art. It's just an inlay on the inside. And I noticed on the last batch they said reversible cover art, and there's been earlier ones that had just the inlay instead of actual reversible, and they pulled it off the cover. I have a feeling in this last batch they just forgot to edit that in their template, because I'm sure a lot of that in their template's already pre-filled in, and they're just forgetting to pull it. That's my suspicion.
Yeah.
The first time I noticed it, I was like, it was on one randomly. I was like, hey, I think we just forgot in this last batch.
It's hard to do that, though, with the double feature. Like, Waxwork, it's like,
it is.
Well, I can't do the reverse cover art because it's both movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, I know that one's annoying. No, I noticed it also was on The Undertaker out of that batch, and that one was the same as this one. It was on Jack Frost, but that one actually was. And there was, I think, one more. Death Machines, and I can't remember if it actually had it or not.
Yeah, we do still have to do Death Machines. I just thought of that. We have Death Machines. We still have some Vinegar Syndrome stuff coming for you guys. We also have the Alex Dorenzi. We were going to do the documentary set, but we just... it kind of fit with...
Wait. Are we not now?
Oh, no, not yet. No. I didn't put that one in the description, Todd.
I thought it was in there. Okay. Oh, okay.
No, but that one's still to be announced, but we are going to have a review of that at some point for you guys. That was actually, I kind of realized about it, and I realized too late that we weren't going to have time to, because I want to watch all three, and I just wasn't going to get those in. So we will have that soon. Well, there you go. You're all set up then.
I was ahead. I was ahead on everything this week. I'm ready for next week at this point, minus one film. I guess we'll just announce. We'll announce at the end of the show what we have next week because we're already locked.
Yeah, we've got everything locked in for next week. So let's go ahead and is it the last song I sent you?
Oh yes, you want to intro it?
This is one of many new Trump raps that is out there. Like I said, with Trump, everybody's upset about it, and rightfully so. But let's comedy is going to be pretty damn good for the next 4 years. So at least we have that. And this is one of many parody songs that are popping up.
All right. So, well, here's Dan's favorite presidential quote ever.
I'm automatically attracted to people. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even know it. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy.
I caught a lot of heat because
Grab them by the pussy.
They calling me a creep since
Grab them by the pussy.
Frankly, I'm a beast when
Grab them by the pussy.
I just take them to the suite and
Grab them by the pussy.
I caught a lot of heat because
Grab them by the pussy.
They calling me a creep since
Grab them by the pussy.
Frankly, I'm a beast when
Grab them by the pussy.
I just take them to the suite and you're fired. Hold up, let let me pop my Viagra. I'm about to get the pussy wetter than Niagara. Democrats mad cause my money pile faster. Never take a loss unless it's time to file taxes. I'm showing out like my dick got rabies. Foaming at the mouth, pulling bitches till I'm 80. Kiss them ASAP, frankly I'm not into waiting. And I hate black people, I prefer to rent to Asians. Bigly, I run the game, they know I'm prepared to play to win. I ain't sharing bitches with these terrorists breaking in. Look, I'm just trying to make America great again. Got a better chance of making Nancy Kerrigan skate again. Believe me, I'm groping bitches by the dozen, but only if they super bad. They call me McLovin. I don't fuck with Cali cause he's Muslim, but all I do is win. I'm the topic of discussion. I caught a lot of heat cause they calling me a creep since frankly I'm a beast when I just take them to the suite and I caught a lot of heat cause they calling me a creep since frankly I'm a beast when I just take them to the suite and
There we go. The Trump rap.
Grab by the pussy.
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. I had the song on speaker, and then I put... sounded weird for a minute.
I was queuing them up. You gotta, yeah.
Grab him by the pussy.
There you go.
there we go. Todd, that's like the next 4 years. That's all anybody's going to say to each other now.
Yeah. We're going to be tired of that soundbite in like 2 more shows.
I don't know if it's true or not, but did you hear Tom Arnold, of all people, to be talking about the president, and Roseanne's ex comes into it? But apparently there's a tape out there that somebody at Apprentice put together with a bunch. Apparently it's a lot worse than that, a bunch of shit that he said behind the scenes on Apprentice. It has not leaked, I guess, because of contracts and confidentiality agreements, but God, would I wonder what's on that tape. It's probably fucking insane. What I have a feeling is on that tape, but yes, we hope you enjoyed Grab 'Em by the Pussy. I don't know if does anybody in particular, you're more of a rap guy, does anybody famous sing that one or not?
No, not yet. And honestly, I don't listen to the new rap, so and unless Tupac's doing a new song about it, I don't. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's your, you need some Christmas music, and that'll do it. So we're going to end the show with some class, believe it or not. Kind of have to after all that. Well, sort of, sort of class. I think Sarno was a very classy director. And we're going to review one of his Blu-rays. Not his first one, though. We still technically have to do the Vampire Ecstasy one. So I was always a big fan of that one. I actually thought that was a really good vampire flick. But this is the limited edition. It's still available, but if this is one you feel you want to get, I wouldn't wait forever.
I remember.
I think
I remember the numbers were. Yeah, and I remember hearing the numbers were really low at the end of the Black Friday sale. We're right around 200. So I'm actually looking right now if it's still available. So sorry. While I'm looking, if you can even still order it, let's talk and see if it's something they should be ordering. So why don't you go ahead and. Yeah, so I mean a little background on Sarno who died. It is out of stock, so I think it's sold out. Yeah, it's out of stock. So okay, that doesn't necessarily. Yeah, sometimes though that doesn't mean it's gone yet. So you may want to look different places. You might still be able to get it before it gets ridiculously expensive. But I don't know. Yeah, definitely don't wait. I don't know if that one made it to anything other than here though. I don't Where Jack Frost, only the cover was limited, I believe Undertaker and All the Sins of Sodom were exclusive to the website. You might want to check Diabolic DVD, as they got those in also.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to say, like, I know Code Red, supposedly Police Connection was gone, but then Diabolic got, like, 200 new copies. So, yeah, keep your eyes out on Diabolic.
I'm going to.
Sarno. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just going to look if
that
they have it in stock while you're starting.
Oh, absolutely. Just a little background on Joseph Sarno, who is really one of the pioneers of sexploitation. Definitely a director who, he's one of the first directors really to put out an X-rated movie in the U.S. 1968's Inga, of course, was a huge hit in the 60s, and this is a guy who, went on to do more XXX stuff down the line, but, he's worked with everybody from Christina Lindbergh, Diane Thorne, Maria Forza, Uta Erickson, and then, later, kind of under some pseudonyms with more XXX names like Georgina Spelvin and Harry Reams, Sika, Ron Jeremy, Annie Sprinkle, Jamie Gillis. The list just goes on, and he was a great filmmaker. That's one thing that I can say about Sarno. He really, really always fantastic cinematography, great looks to his film. They had good plots. His films were not just throwaway adult features. He really was great. He died in 2010, I believe, and a lot of stuff I hope we see more of on Blu-ray. I'd love to see a new edition of Inga, and just a pioneer in the genre. So we're closing it with a little bit of class here. It can't just all be it's classy smut. And this one, All the Sins of Sodom, from 1968, right around the same time he did Inga, follows Henning, who is a fashion photographer driven by visions of artistic glory. While jumping in and out of bed with an almost constant stream of fashion models, he is also well regarded and in high demand. However, for his personal artwork, he is interested in capturing the perfect picture of the Princess of Sodom. All seems to be going well until the youthful and mysterious Joyce enters his life and begins playing malicious, erotic mind games with him. Blinded by his own ambitions, Henning is unable to see his impending downfall until it's too late, as Joyce continues to dominate his desires. From acclaimed erotic filmmaker Joe Sarno, All the Sins of Sodom is a tense and suspenseful drama that explores the darkest reaches of sexual desire. Expertly photographed in stark black and white, Vinegar Syndrome presents this masterpiece of 60s sexploitation on Blu-ray for the first time, newly scanned and fully restored in 2K from its 35mm camera negative. Like I said, fantastic cinematography. Sarno, he was the artistic smut peddler. He really, and there's something about an erotic black and white movie too. That's something that doesn't. I don't think you can really do that now and make it work. But there is something kind of classy and erotic about this, and I'm a big fan of. The Finleys, Roberta, and Michael, and a lot of New York-based filmmakers at this time. And Sarno, it's so hard to pick the best, but Sarno was probably one of the more talented filmmakers, and this is a very well acted film from. The lead, Henning, who was played by, I'm spacing on his name here, Dan Machuan, I think is how you pronounce it. Sue Akers, very beautiful, is Joyce. Maria Elise as Leslie, and of course Joe Sarno's wife, Peggy Steffens, who plays his agent. She's still around and quite lovely herself. These are ones that are really worth seeing if you're into the sexploitation genre and the history of it. I think Sarno, much like a Russ Meyer, and I could name drop a lot of people, the Finleys, who I've written about in the past, talked about in the past, a big fan. If you're looking at this as something to get off on, that may not necessarily work out for you. It is black and white. The sex is there's a lot of nudity in this, but the sex is a little light. There's no frontal stuff going on here, but I don't know. I like it. I like that it's so well acted. I think Henning, kind of I really bought him. I thought he was a very good, very authentic performance from him in this, and from the actor. And what do you think of this one, Todd? What do you think of Sarno in general? Because I don't think we've ever really tackled Sarno before.
In general, I'm a fan of his work. I've been. This one, while I do enjoy, I think it drags a little bit around the middle. I think the pace needs to be up a bit. But other than that, I think this is a solid film. I don't know if it's the first one from him I tell people to check out, though. I'm glad we got this.
I'm taking you're an Inga guy.
Yeah. So.
I know you, Todd.
and this, and honestly, if we compare the two, this one pales in comparison to that one. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah. No, I would agree. I like Inga better, but Vampire Ecstasy I think is a great film. Really, that's one that works as a horror film. We'll have to review that at some point because I think that's actually a pretty good vampire flick, quite frankly. And obviously this is early softcore stuff, but there's something about a woman in black and white, being shot in black and white, very beautiful. The women, like I said, Sue Akers, Maria Elise, both very striking, just very beautiful women, and it's. I enjoy films from this era. Like I said, this is definitely getting into something different. And like I said, with Flesh Wound After Dark, we may tackle early stuff, early classy stuff. We may tackle some very not classy, raunchy stuff, and we're going to do 80s sex comedies. In fact, that's one when this December madness, because goddamn has it been a stacked couple of months for releases. We will have an 80s sex comedy show. I know we're both looking forward to that, but I like this. I couldn't quite get over the fact that a guy would be so put out by a bunch of hot models wanting to fuck him, but I enjoyed
that was
performances. It was, but it works. It's got a good plot. I liked Joyce's mind games, tricking Leslie into walking in, and there is some girl on girl, some early black and white girl on girl in this one, Sarno, Sarno was a trailblazer.
Yeah, I knew you were going to enjoy that part.
Oh, absolutely, always. And I should say for Star Trek fans, others may not get this, but he also worked with I'm forgetting the name, Michael Amo, who played Gul Dukat at one point. So that was one interesting name that I know pops up on his resume. And I really enjoyed this, and you should really revisit a lot. I know they're supposed to, the company that I'm spacing on that put out the Vampire Ecstasy double is apparently putting out a lot of his movies, and he made a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm curious
New company,
to see what
I
else
can't
comes.
think of their name.
Yeah, I'd have to go look at my my disc, but you will get a lot more Sarno. So this is one. Now, is this one that they're going to have a separate release for, like a DVD, or have they said?
This was just a Black Friday surprise limited release.
Okay.
I honestly don't. Not even the extras, because this was a bare bones release. There is a possibility they could do a double feature and stick it with something else in the future.
Yeah, so if you missed it, you might not be out of luck. It'll just depend. I have a feeling it might pop up, and it's hard to do extras because, of course, Sarno's dead. Peggy's still around, but I don't. It's such a small cast, and I don't think they'll be able to track too many of them down at this point. But yeah, he really was good. I mean, he's a guy that even in the early '60s tackled the wife swap craze, which was a big thing in the '60s, and yeah, he was a great filmmaker, and I don't think he's as appreciated as he should be. So check this one out. Some of his early DVDs now are kind of pricey. I know a lot of them are out of print, but hopefully you will slowly get them on this new line, and the Vampire Ecstasy one's out there now. So the movie, I give 3.5. I think it's a very well-made movie if you're into early erotica. What say you, Todd?
I'm a 3.
Okay.
For pretty much the same reasons. I'm just a little lower. I definitely say check it out. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do a DVD only. Limited edition Blu-rays looks sold out, but like Dan mentioned, you might be able to find it some places still, but they are out on the site. But sometimes they do hold on to a few to take to conventions for the people who go to those. They kind of sometimes keep not very many, but
yeah. And I should say on that note, Days of the Dead Atlanta, which I will be at, meeting, well, no, it won't be the first time because I'll be seeing him in a couple weeks, but Chris McGibbon, our founder from back in the day, will also be there. There's a lot of people I'm going to know at Days of the Dead Atlanta. Todd, you got to fly down to Atlanta. That's going to be a good time. So, and I know Vinegar Syndrome's going to be there as well. So if you're an Atlanta-based listener, you may want to get over. I know James is going to be there, and you may want to get over to the table early to see if they have all the Sins of Sodom, because they very well may. Because I think I've never actually seen Vinegar Syndrome at a convention. They have done them, but I know he said something about having some cool stuff, maybe some surprises there. So you never know.
Well,
you want to get to that table.
Well, Dan, don't forget about me if they have anything convention exclusive movie-wise. Yeah, I'm not into the vinyl
absolutely will.
So just remember me. I'm looking, since I pulled it up to see about this, I can already see for probably it'll be our February After Dark show. I'm thinking monthly is probably going to be our thing. We'll kind of go play it by ear. We're not going to be weekly or regular, but I'm thinking, and originally we weren't planning on doing this instead of our normal Flesh Wound radio show, but since it is starting to slow down, we figured we'll save our.
Yeah.
Well, you want to say what we have next week real quick? All right.
I know we're doing the Ronin, Code Red, Scorpion releasing titles. Hills Have Eyes 3, The Mind Ripper, which you know it better as Mind Ripper, I'm sure. We're also going to be doing Slaughterhouse Rock, Happy Hell Night and the controversial Don't Go in the House Blu-ray, which we were talking about week, I believe. We will also have a review for Siren, which is a spin-off film from the VHS trilogy, VHS 2, I believe I should say. I think it was VHS 2. Those are starting to run together for me. Yeah, VHS 2.
No, it was Amateur Night for VHS 1, and also, since Dan forgot it, Happy Hell Night.
Yes, Happy Hell Night. I'm sorry. Spacing.
That's
Still thinking about
people
all that.
Tend to forget about that.
I watched. It's
people tend to forget about that one anyway. Well, for our next round of porn stuff, for our next after, I don't know if it'll be our next one, but most likely the February one. We have. I can already see we're going to have most likely Taboo 4, Blue Money, and Beyond Shame. So.
Yes.
Should be,
and we might get another one in there. Something. Maybe we'll do a Headlock or something. Something interesting. If you ever have any requests, hey, throw them out there. I know one person asked us to do 2 Girls, 1 Cup, but I'm going to say that's about a decade too late at this point.
And honestly, I was thinking we should dive into some of the horror. I didn't want to say parodies at this point because some of those are the Friday the 13th is one that people preferred. I heard a lot of people who reviewed that, and I get to watch it. Yeah, that it's more of a Friday the 13th than the remake, so with some hardcore sex in it. So to me, that sounds like it's a film that just happens to have sex in it, which is what I would like. Maybe
I've got that. We can do that. We can definitely do that one.
Do you have? I have it. I haven't watched it yet because I missed it on it as a youngster, but I did manage to pick up the DVD. The Fred Lincoln directed Last Whorehouse on the Left.
I do not have it. I did see it once back in the day. Somebody had I think sent me like a disc or something, but no, I do not actually own that one. And I don't know, is that hard to get? Was that even on DVD? Yes,
it was. I don't know if it's still.
Okay.
You might want to check your eBay sources because it was it wasn't inexpensive. That's one. I mean, there's the Halloween parody. There's the Saw parody. There's the Psycho parody. There's quite a few. I don't know which one all of. Yeah, Fuckenstein. Creature Features. I know is one that features. Elvira, not literally, but that one.
We can do Harry Twatter is a funny one, or Edward Penis Hands is kind of the classic.
Oh well, that's Nightmare on Dyke Street's another one. I still have my big box VHS on that one.
Oh wow! You got to take a picture of that one, Todd. That's pretty cool. But yeah, no. If you have any requests, let us know. There's a lot of good ones out there, and we'll try and make it a good variety since this is once in a while. But I have to say, since After Dark is always our tradition when the show ends, I did want to throw out there were quite a few movies piling up that have been coming out towards the end of this year, and we may get them in sometime in the next couple shows, but there's some good ones out there. The Good Neighbor with James Caan, Trash Fire, which I have not watched, but I've had a couple people tell me is absolutely amazing. There's some interesting ones out there. Michael Biehn did a remake of Hidden in the Woods, which is a really fucked up movie. I don't know if the remake's as good, but rapey Michael Biehn, kind of makes sense. And that one kind of fits in with Taboo as well because it has those themes. There's a lot of really good ones. Jack Goes Home, another one with Macaulay Culkin's brother that looks really good. So we'll have a lot of good reviews for you guys coming up.
And then there's the one I keep hearing about, and I know is just available on VOD, and I'm trying to remember the name. So I'm actually multitasking and stalling that I think we should probably tackle because it's got tons of buzz. The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah, Yeah, we can pencil that in. Once we get the next show, then I think we're going to have a string of horror stuff for you guys. A lot of newer horror stuff, and because there's a lot. Like when I'm looking at some stuff that's piled up, did you know Steven Tyler was in one called Happy Birthday, which is kind of a
I did not
horror thriller comedy. Yeah, that's at Walmart and Best Buy. I mean, you can go buy it for $10. But I just happened to pick it up because, and I didn't even realize, even when I bought it, I didn't realize he was in it. And then I'm like looking at the back cover, and I'm like, this dude in this beard, and then I look, and it's like, holy shit, it's Steven Tyler. so yeah.
Well,
Steven Tyler going to Mexico.
Oh, well, shit. Donkey show time. I didn't want to. I guess I'll do this on the air script.
To Sweet Emotion. He could just start singing it. That's a good image.
Since Dan knows what I watched last night, and it fits in topic. I watched, well, for those who are listening, I watched the Kit Natividad classic, Taking It Off on Laserdisc, one of my holy grails. Finally got to retire my VHS version. And I just got to say, I was like, wow, this actually looks so much better. I was just thrown back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
yeah,
I wish part 2 was on laser.
God. I never jumped on the Laserdisc craze, though. That's one that I did not at that point. I mean, I jumped into DVD pretty fast, and Blu-ray immediately.
I was a little more picky on what I got, so it would have to be something that on Laserdisc was widescreen, because a lot of times, especially with like the earlier stuff, it would be the same thing, a full screen just on a Laserdisc. So I would not do that. So I'd get, stuff that I wanted to see widescreen. And then towards, a little bit later in the cycle, when people I still laugh now when people are bitching about a $40 retail price when I was paying $100 for the collector's editions of Halloween and Chainsaw and happy to pay it with not even a quarter of the special features that you get now. So, I mean, it was select things. It wasn't everything. That was definitely one. But
Boyle, they're not used to the days when we had to pay out the ass to get these movies.
Yeah, pretty much. And so like this was one of my holy grails. And then, getting a Laserdisc that's that old, kind of have to pray it's not rotted. Pray it plays fine. And the thing was immaculate. When I took it out of the sleeve, it looked beautiful. It's most likely a later pressing because it had the second Vestron logo. Which, okay, oh well. So.
Do you have many? Because I haven't heard. I know some people with Laserdiscs that I don't know too many that have had rotting issues.
It happens. Certain titles, shitty glue. I haven't had, many. And towards the end of my old player life, because I actually got a new player right as, I believe Laserdisc was dead at this point, but I was able to get one brand new, super cheap, and a good model. I actually have a second one in the garage, too. That I got super, so it's a newer one. And I think maybe towards the end of the life of the other one, I was thinking it was raw, but it was just a player dying, because I could never get Superman 3 to play right. But I think by that time the DVD came out, or I know by that time I had it in widescreen. So I remember because I took it to an XCW fan to spring weapons matches and played Laserdisc.
So somebody took the Christopher Reeve bump besides Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, didn't have the same effect, luckily.
Yeah. Oh, Todd, that's horrible. But I started it, so I can't complain.
Although Rob was in a wheelchair for a while, but he didn't take the bump, so.
that
we
was
go.
an angle.
He will always be Superman to us. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of reviews for you guys, and we'll probably set up a couple more, Todd, because
I was going to say, through my kitten research last night, I discovered, I know, you're going to be like, no. You're going to be like, no, we can't. It'll just be us quiet. I found the contact number to contact the kitten herself for interviews.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. We don't do a lot of interviews, but that might be one. That might be one we have to do for you. Oh, I don't know. That might be like me trying to interview Brinke Stevens. It's just like I'd be sitting there drooling.
That's why I said both of us will just be quiet, like not saying anything.
I'll still never forget, and I'm amazed the picture came out good. But I don't. Did you ever see the one of me and Nina Hartley with her kind of like bent over?
Oh, you told me about it, but I still haven't seen it.
Oh, I'll have to send that to you because that one was pretty epic. But I remember like just meeting her and just it was like like, she probably thought I was retarded or something. I mean, it was very but not as bad as Brinke Stevens. I remember Brinke Stevens. It was just like either she thought I was retarded or coming in my pants. It's probably a little bit of both. But
I was going to say, yeah. She went
I was even I had one. I wanted her to sign a paddle, but I just couldn't do it. I was just like a sorority babes paddle, and I was just like I think I just like pointed to a picture. She signed it, and that was pretty much it. But I did get a cool photo with Nina Hartley. But I haven't seen Brinke in a while, though. I have to
I found
get something better.
I'm looking on your I see it. You remember this photo. You did send it to me. That's a good one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, see, she looks
that
exactly
one is...
the same as she did 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, she's timeless. There's just something about Nina Hartley that I'm a big fan of hers, and I tend to really like exotic looks. I mean, you could kind of argue she's the blonde-haired, kind of typical porn physique, but there was just something about her. She is one of the best performers of all time, period. I think even people that maybe are not as into her will have to admit that she was always an amazing performer. And it was cool meeting her. It was actually really cool meeting her. And I can't remember who it was because I saw her a few times throughout that weekend, and it was some new porn star, and I could kind of tell she wasn't that fond of this girl. I can't remember who it was because I don't think she's gotten all that famous, but she was I was eavesdropping on a conversation about this girl, and it was pretty funny. But yes, if you are, I gotta say, Ty, because you're right there, and it's easier for you. You gotta go down to the AVN Expo in Las Vegas. You would have a fucking blast. Take some of the UEW guys down there.
I don't know if it'll let me now. I'll tell you a funny story about a Weekend of Horrors. A couple. I want to say it was still Weekend of Horrors. I don't think it was Days of the Dead yet. I want to say it was one of the last days of one of the last Weekend of Horrors at the LA Convention Center, and I'm pretty sure it's when we crashed the hotel. So this is quite a few years ago. This is like 7 years ago. But we went, and simultaneously in the other convention hall was the porn convention. So we just kind of went over there to look, and we just like, screw it, we're just walking in. Because we had bracelets on our wrists and lanyards and shit from the other one. They just like, oh, whatever.
Free boobs. That's you can never turn that down. But yeah, Vegas was fun, dude. I got to tell you, that was one of the cooler vacations that I've taken. There's stories I won't even tell on the air from that. That it was a fun vacation, and you get to meet. The cool thing about it is most of the autographs are free. It's like all like a promotional thing. It's not like a standard convention. I think I might have paid like $10 for some of the Burning Angel girls, but other than that, pretty much everybody was free. I still have some of them. I still have the Ron Jeremy, like he was shilling this protein shake, but he had his heart attack like really not long at all after that convention, and I still had that protein shake, and I'm like, oh, he was telling me how great he felt and how this stuff is going to do wonders, and I'm like, nah. So I never got to try the Ron Jeremy shake, but I still have like they were handing out free rubbers and dick pills. I had a bunch of dick pills that you get for free there. I always joked I was going to just chug them all at once and see what happens.
I don't know if I'd be okay taking a Ron Jeremy protein drink. I just think that this does not sound right.
No, it doesn't. Maybe that was part of it too, but yeah, I was like, no. They're going to trace that heart attack back to this shake or something. So I was like, no, maybe I better not. But you get a lot of cool free shit, and it was a blast.
Cool.
Like I said, I might even fly out to it again. It's been a little while now, and I'd like to see it again. But well, we are at the end of the show now. Don't think there's much else to say. Anything going on in UEW right now that you need to plug?
Next show, January 14th. Not much announced yet other than a death match. I believe it's a death match, but a rematch from the death match tournament between the death match tournament winner, BC Killer, and Damien 666. So that should be good.
There you go. You guys ever have you booked Bestia, his son, yet?
Oh, he was on the first show from the Reach, or the first show.
Okay, I thought you did.
Well, he
debuted.
Remember. He debuted the first one. Yeah, I'm hoping he comes back.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see. He's one I heard WWE buzz a while back. He was one I was almost kind of surprised didn't show up in the Cruiserweight Classic, because I know Mysterio or something was like recommending him a few years back, but it just seems like it might happen now of all times. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's all we have for you guys tonight.
That is all.
Unless you had. Okay.
No.
And we will be back here next Thursday with some new reviews. And thanks for listening, guys.
All right. Good night. We don't really have an outro song, so we're playing the intro. Good night, guys.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.